It's time for the Gettin Outdoors podcast, Town Country United Bank Lake Millers Ferry Weekend Hunting and Fishing Report. A weekly update on water conditions, ramp events, generating schedule, what's biting, and seasonal hunting information with outdoor reporters Joe Allen Dunn, Kevin Sims, and Shane Jones. This weekly hunting and fishing report is brought to you by the good folks at Town Country United Bank in Camden, Alabama, serving their customers for over 40 years. Town Country United Bank's highest priority is satisfied customers. Now, here's your weekend Lake Millers Ferry hunting and fishing report.
Summertime, we're feeling fine, fishing on the lake, flipping jigs and Carolina rigs, from early morning till real late. Bonfires on the creek bank, kick back a couple beers. Yeah, we command the outdoors around here. Yeah, we command the outdoors. Yeah, we command the outdoors. Next year's doves and teal, you know, winter's on the way. Brushing blinds and deer stands. Fever starts to creep. We'll fill our freezers full of ducks, lots of tender deer. Yeah, we command the outdoors around here. Yeah, we command the outdoors. Yeah, we
another one on the B&B Silver Shade.
So grab your guns and shells, boys. Put on your camouflage. 'Cause we command the outdoors around here. We command the outdoors.
Team Bigfoot in the house.
James Jones crappie fishing.
Got it.
First one, 2023, smackdown.
Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Gettin Outdoors podcast 231 Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report for the weekend of August the 18th through August the 20th. August is gone, y'all. It is gone. I'm here with my outdoor reporter Shane Jones, Joe Allen Dunn, and our special guest once again for Mr. Kevin Sims, who's still working and shut down, Gaston's Custom Call founder and owner, Mr. David Gaston. How y'all doing tonight?
We're good. We're doing good, B. David's been working shut down too. He's setting so many calls, he has to work about 12 hours a day, don't you now?
7 days a week.
Well, we just got through doing the podcast. Joe Allen, I appreciate you sitting down with me. You know, I was trying to figure out how I was going to promote this week's podcast, Shane. Me and Joe Allen talking about dove hunting. I said, well, he has got 50-plus years of experience hunting doves in the South Alabama dove field. I tell you, Joe Allen's getting old. What's that you holding up, David?
That's the Teal call, man. We'll get to that later.
Okay. All right. Well, y'all stay tuned because we are going to share some teal hunting information. Crappie cast tomorrow night on Shane Jones Fishing Facebook and YouTube. Who y'all got tomorrow night?
Nobody. We're gonna have a guest. Just be John, Jessica, myself.
Okay. Shiloh did a good job last week.
Oh yeah,
y'all.
he filled in. He filled in on the fly. I appreciate Shiloh. I called him. John was gonna be out of pocket, not much service, so he jumped right on in there with me.
Well, I tell you what, it's getting better and better every week. I guarantee you, y'all are spilling some information on crappie cast. I guarantee.
Yeah, I get more and more pictures every week, and more comments and messages and everything. People's picking a lot of information up. So
hey, we're gonna talk about this when we get to the crappie report, but I just want to tease y'all with this. Shane Jones went Saturday by himself. Sunday he had Jimmy Lawler with him. 100-plus degrees out there. Water temperature 90-plus degrees. On the left was Sunday. On the right was Saturday. What about that, Joe Allen?
Where's the picture with mine? I caught some Friday.
I didn't see that picture. The only last picture I got of you was when you and Aaron went.
He had a big fish Friday. That 224 was Friday, wasn't it?
I had some fish Friday. It wasn't that many, but I had a few.
That's what y'all had last weekend. Now that's decent. That's decent right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They caught them pretty good.
The only reason I had so many with Aaron is because I get to sit there and Aaron baits my hook. He helped me get my trolling motor up, and I don't have to work so hard.
Well, last weekend, opening the alligator season, the West Central Zone 22, unofficially now. I don't have anything official. This is all unofficial stats that I have. 22 tagged gators brought in to the weigh-in station in the West Central Zone. The biggest one brought in was 11 foot 8 inches, 437 pounds, and it was killed around Ellis's Landing. I hadn't seen no big gators up in there, but that's where they got him. And the biggest gator of the weekend in all the zones was down in the coastal zone. It was 12 foot 9 inches, 539 pounds. That's a big old alligator.
That's a big one.
And I'm getting a lot of inquiries about pay dove hunts. Does y'all know any pay dove hunts? I know it's one down there in Chatham, that Iron Man's dove hunt. But that's the only one I know about it. Y'all heard of any pay dove hunts or public dove hunts?
I have not.
I seen a few, Big Daddy. I had to look on my Facebook. I don't even know where they were. There was one for, I think one day was $60 and both days were $85, and they were going to feed you. I seen it on my Facebook page, but I'll have to look it up.
They looking for hunters. Let me know, because I'm getting people calling me every day. And
I'll look. I don't know whose page it was on, Big Daddy, but I'll come across it.
And tomorrow, Thursday, will be the Fruit Jar Tournament out of Bridgeport City Landing. And Shane, me and you talked about this. I hadn't talked to Joe Allen and David. Kay opened up the registration for the ABT North and South Division and sold out in less than 45 minutes. 450 boats.
That's awesome.
Each division. That's pretty cool. You got a waiting list. Ain't no telling how many is it.
Hey, bass fishing strong in Alabama, and them people are going to fish. I don't care what the economy's doing. They're going. So.
And let me tell you what, Joe Allen, you finna have to spend some money too. And if you didn't get the call today, Clark Prep starting them a bass fishing team down at Clark Prep, and they looking for sponsors to put on the jerseys. And I'm gonna show them out. I wish every private school, every public school in the Alabama Black Belt should have a fishing team. They really should.
We told them that, 5-6 years ago?
That's right. That's exactly right.
So you don't realize, I mean, you go to Montevallo or Auburn. Auburn just won the national championship, didn't it? The fishing team, I think. Somebody said I haven't.
Those Auburn boys won the BAS collegiate championship.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
the same two boys that won it also won the high school championship before they went to Auburn. So
that's what I'm saying. These guys are getting their education paid for. They get to fish. I mean, that is a tremendous opportunity for people. I mean,
yeah. John and Jessica on here, Shane.
He's tuned in. He's sitting in the hotel room sucking up some air conditioner. He's been whacking fish all day.
All right, let's see what we got with the Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report. I called the Millers Ferry Powerhouse and the Jones Bluff Powerhouse tomorrow, the 17th. They are pulling water from midnight to 4 a.m. at Millers Ferry, 3 units. From 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., 3 units. From 10 p.m. to midnight, 3 units. At Jones Bluff, from midnight to 4 a.m., 2 units. From 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., 4 units. From 10 p.m. to midnight, 2 units. So that water's going to kind of be moving all day, ain't it, Joe Allen, doing it like that?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where all this water coming from. Are they drawing some of those lakes down, the big lakes further up?
No, we've had a lot of rain up this way, Joe Allen. I mean, This week's the first couple of days it hadn't rained here.
Really?
Well,
Well,
they
that's
said
good.
you got 3 inches up Millbrook the other day, so up
Yeah,
north of Montgomery,
they
they get some rain.
I think last week they said they were jumping trees at Warrior River up here. I mean, it was solid chocolate milk, and whole trees are coming down it. So that's coming down too, down the Tom Bigby. So
The water temperatures are varying a lot right now because heck, it was 68 degrees this morning when I got up. But the water temps that I have right now in the river from 88 to 92, and in the sloughs from 88, and I've heard of some 94-degree water up in that shallow water. What was it? You was in that shallow water Sunday, Shane. What was it
yeah,
up there?
it was almost 91 degrees where I was, and it's
Yeah.
got some color to it. So that's it was a 5 foot flat right there than where I was. So it's not gonna get much harder than that.
All right, we're gonna start off with catfish, and I promised y'all I would get this for y'all. Shane, you're gonna have to tell about this now. If y'all are listening on the podcast, you're not gonna be able to see this, but I'm gonna let Shane explain it to you, and y'all can hear what he said. This is that big catfish you was telling us about last week that
Oh
you got
Lord.
on your live show.
Sounds like catfish, guys. Unreal. That is a giant catfish. I'm talking about a giant. Look at him. Good Lord.
That was a big old catfish right there now.
That's the biggest fish I've seen on my live scope screen, and I've been running one for 4.5 years now. And there was some crappie on a stump, and I pitched my jig in there, and I'm trying to make them crappie move, and this thing comes up, and I was like, and my first intuition is the spoonbill. And then, the spoonbill, you can always see the sweep of their tail. You can make out their bill. But when that thing was blocky and didn't have his tail, I said, that is a catfish. I mean, that thing had to be way over 100 pounds.
And that catfish is right in front of a friend of mine's house that gets in the river and goes up the river 5 or 10 miles to catfish. That's where that big fish was.
I seen 4 catfish on that river ledge, 4 big ones, but that was the biggest one. And you could pretty much spot them because they're so blocky and their head's so wide. They look like a darn, I don't know what, it looks like something you see in the ocean.
Well, I talked to Travis Powell yesterday afternoon, Joe Allen, and he told me when that shutdown's over, them catfish better look out. That's all I can say.
Well, they better get out and get some because I caught one good one, this weekend in the front yard tight line.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We got to get them smackdown catfish rod holders put out there in your yard. Stacy said he got them in his truck.
I got to call Stacy and order some.
I got him coming. All right, he put 3 in his truck. It's coming, but heck, every time I look up, he's in Tennessee or Nashville or somewhere. He's on the road now. But all right, catfishing this weekend, tight lining, jugging. I mean, it's catfish weather right now, Joe Allen.
Yeah, definitely. Long lines in the river, tight lining in the cuts coming into the river. That's where you need to be. And the best bait is still fresh shad or skipjack. This weekend I had to use other baits because I didn't go out and get any. But and that the live scope that we use doing the crappie fishing is a really, really a big asset if you learn how to use it to throw that cast net right on top of big schools of shad and get all the bait you want quick. But live scope will spot them schools of shad and you stay right up on them, and then throw on them. You get all you want in one cast.
And I got some reports below the dam at Claiborne. Some guys caught some nice ones on limb lines down there too. So
with this water running like that, as long as you got limb lines out in the edge of the river, where there's if it's on a ledge where there's 18 to 20 foot of more water, they're gonna do fine. But if you back up in a shallow flat, no.
Mm-hmm. All right, catfishing's going to be good. Let's talk about bass fishing a minute. Last weekend, Maddie had her final Bridgeport Summer Team Trail. Will Tipton and Corey Ingram won it. They had 5 fish that weighed 1391 with a 370 big fish. No, I'm sorry. That's what they had Wednesday in the Wednesday afternoon tournament. I don't know what they had in Maddie's tournament. I think they had about 1536 is what they had. The angler of the year was Trey and Leon Wade. They took home $2,200 plus they came in third place for $300. So old Trey stuck him $2,500 in his pocket in Maddie's tournament the other day. I've already mentioned that Clark Prep High School is starting them a bass fishing team, and I'm going to support them 100%. This weekend at the Selma City Marina, August 19th, from daylight to 3 p.m., it will be the Hymns Benefit Bass Tournament. And they have got a bunch of sponsors. It's going to be a great tournament. And all you got to do is show up at the landing that morning, or you can call Corey Ingram, Bucky Baird, or Torrey Jones, and I got all that information on my Getting Outdoors Facebook page. Joe Allen, what they got to do up there in Selma Saturday to win that tournament?
The main thing is watch what they've been pulling water. It can turn out real good. I mean, the main river, like I said before, fishing on the grass mats, ledges, and early in the morning in the sloughs next to deep water on the in grass with frogs and top water stuff. And then after that, the main river is going to be where the big bite's at.
Well, it's I'll be glad when Kevin gets back here. Well, I bet he's itching to go also. But anyway, let's go to crappie fishing. Dippy Outdoors, boy, he didn't have no idea what he's getting into this weekend. He was looking for 75, 80 kids, had 132, had 40 in his adult division. Now, that was pretty darn strong. He panicked. He told all the kids he was going to give them all a reeling rod. I think they had to go clean out Walmart and all the bait shops, but they got every one of them kids a reeling rod. My hat's off to him, Shane. That was a great job. And I think John and Jessica were there too, wasn't they?
Yeah, they actually won the tournament. And
they actually won it and gave the money back to them.
They sure did, John, they ain't broadcasting that, but they actually won the tournament and gave it back to Dippy. Said, "Hey, put it back towards the kids thing again next year." So
there you go.
It's gonna get bigger and bigger. I guarantee you.
I don't think he was prepared for what he done stirred up a hornet's nest with that kids tournament now. So I'm so proud for him. Gerald Overstreet took out a client last week. Had a great day. Now, Shane, I want to talk to you once again about this right here, because so many people quit fishing this time of the year, but now that right there is what you can do. You prove what you can do out there in that hot water and hot weather. Now tell everybody how they can go. It's going to be 100 degrees this Saturday, how they can go fill up 2 coolers like that.
Well, the first thing, you got to study the water you're fishing, guys. You got to realize there's a thermocline right now. It's around 8 foot, so there's not any crappie below that 8-foot line in those creeks. So you find a creek channel swings next to the bank and there's some cover in it, there's going to be some crappie in there. I don't care if the water's 100 degrees. That's the only place they got to live that's sustainable oxygen level. You'll know when you get in that creek channel, you start seeing bait running. And me and Jimmy found a tree. We've never been in there Sunday, and those fish were there, but the first thing you got to do is get you an umbrella. That umbrella's worth its weight in gold when you have one, because when that sun gets up 10, 11 o'clock, you can put it up and it keeps that direct heat off of you, and you can actually think and you could fish and drink plenty of Gatorade. But there's a bunch of fish to be caught out there, guys. They're not going to be in every top like they're on the springtime, but they will be concentrated in some of those tops and brush piles and some of the stake beds. All those fish I caught were within 10 foot of water less, 4 foot deep. Both of those coolers right there full. So
now, I know you slipped by Lofton's bait shop earlier. They got you some minnows all the
time.
I
tried them Saturday because I'd seen so many fish in some of those stake beds that I couldn't make them fire off, and I caught one fish on the minnows. I ended up pouring them out Saturday evening, and I still can't, catch more, especially on stake beds this time of year. A couple fish is all I'm going to catch. Now, those brush tops that me and Jimmy found, there was a ton of fish in them, and we ended up pulling 10, 11, 12 out of one, and we found 3 or 4 brush tops that were hot in a quarter-mile section. So, but there was a big flat around there, and that thing was 5 foot deep, and it rolled off the 10. And you can tell, guys, if you look at a bank and you see those trees pitched in the water at an angle, it's a little bit deeper water. You don't have to have a live scope to realize that. And you can just treat it just like springtime and bump those blims, and you get a bite. Now you're going to be, hey, there's more than just one fish there.
Well, that's good advice from Shane Jones. Now, you put up a video just a little while ago before we started that show about you and John and Jessica fixing to kind of take another step into your podcast, and tell us about that.
We signed a contract with the Outdoor Recreation Network, and it's going to be on Spotify and Apple Radio and iHeartRadio. Some of them I don't even know the name of them. But we are actually going to go into some big-time detail, way in depth in some of the topics like we're talking about now: thermocline, creek channels, mapping, Garmin live scope settings, side scan settings, and Humminbird. We're going to go a little deeper, and we're going to film a show every week, and we're going to keep getting deeper and deeper in the series where people can learn a lot more and get the knowledge that John and I have learned over the last 5 years. You're going to get it squeezed into these podcasts, and it's a lot of knowledge once you start rolling off into it.
Yeah, and we got a crappie. Let's see, the Delta Crappie series is coming in August 26th, I believe.
Next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday. That's right.
It's gonna be some hammers up here.
Oh yeah, they're gonna catch some fish, and Millers Ferry had the potential, guys. You got to realize what I'm doing to these creeks. I'm treating them like their own lakes. I treat them just like their own body of water, because those crappie are not going to run 2 miles out to the river. They're not. I'm sorry. You get back in these flats and find some deeper water. There's fish that's, I told you that years ago when I found them fish in July. They're all where they are going to be. They're not going to run out to a creek. To the main river. They're stuck. So find those fish and catch them.
All right, me and Shane were talking. I said I'd never ever do this no more, Joe Allen.
Here it comes.
Into it. We done got a date, April the 6th, 2024. We don't know what we're going to call it, how it's going to work, but we're going to have the biggest crappie fishing open that's ever been on Millers Ferry, April the 6th, 2020.
We are planning. I've talked to some absolute giant hammers that's going to come and fish with us. We're getting some title belts made. Won't be any trophies. There are going to be some title belts. We're going. It's going to be the Lower Alabama Crappie King. I don't know what the tournament's going to be called, but we're going to have some fun with it. Like I said, I'm going to get some hammers in there. I want to see somebody weigh 15, 16 pounds in, and show the potential Millers Ferry's got, because people don't realize, that time of year there is some giant fish caught, and they're kind of spread out because different people are catching them, but you put some of the Eric Cagles and the Brandon Threadgills, the Scott Mitchells, and Scott Williams over from Georgia. I'm going to get some hammers down there, and we're going to catch some weight and have some fun.
And we're going to call out. We need the professor there, David. We want all these local fishermen to come in there also. It's going to be.
Exactly right. It's going to be a fun event, guys.
It's right there when everybody knows where the fish are. Joe Allen, yeah, you got to get in it.
Yeah, my waist size is 44. That's what.
Make sure the belt fits him, he said. I hear you. We got plenty of time, guys. April the 6th. Trey Way, me and Big Daddy called him. We got it booked. There's not a bass tournament that day. So we'll put in. We're still working out the details, guys, but I want, like I said, the money, I hope we get the prize money up there where it's worth somebody's while to do it, but just to come and the fellowship of that many great crappie fishing around, and like I said, the locals and some guys that visit there, we're gonna have some fun with that.
We sure are.
Do that with my cooler with ice in it. Take them straight off the scale and put them in my cooler.
I hear you.
Well, fish care is gonna be one of the things we're talking
about. We're going to try to let a lot of those big fish go, and there'll be some. Hey, the good thing about it, guys, if you weigh 7 fish, you can fill up a cooler full of eaters. I mean, if you catch 10, 11 fish, just keep them for somebody like David's talking. We'll let those big fish full of eggs go because Bridgeport's deep enough water. We're going to try to push it to let those big fish go, but like you said, the good thing is you can have as many fish in the boat you want. You can't weigh but 7. So
That's right. April the 6th, 2024. Put it on your calendar.
It'll be here before you know it.
Me and Joe Allen just got through talking about dove season comes in on. We went over all the seasons and everything on the podcast today. Joe Allen, you brought some good information. It's time to be practicing some skeet throwing. Time to get it done. Dove season's right around the corner. You went over real well about the hunting in that heat, and it's just everybody needs to be careful because it is going to be blistering hot September the 2nd when it comes in.
Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, the heat is the main thing. We ain't seen heat like this in a while, but, season's coming in and people are going to go. They're not going to sit at home. So just beware of what you're getting into.
All right, dove season comes in September the 2nd. And then special teal season comes in the next week, David. Now, I want you to tell everybody about that. You got somebody you want to push for some teal calls, and I want to hear that. I want to hear you blow that teal call, David.
Well, we're going to do that. This on the screen right now, Joe Allen, my assistant, is holding that up.
And for y'all listening on the podcast, hold it up, Joe Allen. It's Joe Briscoe. Text to 832-262-0271. Joe Briscoe, text 832-262-0271.
That is correct. Joe's like me. He's a world champion roper. Got the belt. I mean, he's a cowboy. Mm-hmm. But he makes calls also. And he's a good guy. And he goes to bed early. Don't call him after about 5:30 in the afternoon because 7 he's ready to go to bed. Okay, we have to get up and beat the heat. These shops aren't air conditioned, and if they were, the exhaust system pulls the air out. This is a little call that Joe makes. It's a little teal call. There are lots of teal calls on the market. They're cheaper teal calls. Okay, I think Joe sells these for $60, $65, but he sells them as fast as he can make them. And of course, there are Haydales. There are all kind of teal calls on the market. Joe Allen's got some in the store, and they all get the job done. They all get the job done.
But if you want a custom call that is better and high quality, you want a custom call. Don't buy them calls. I mean, I sell them to the kids that ain't got the $10 or $15 in their pocket.
Right.
But the man that wants to spend the money and have a custom call, that's a wood call right there.
That's a Bodoc call, all finished, 100%, and it sounds like a teal.
Let's hear it.
People say these are blue wing calls. All teal are the same: blue wing, green wing, and cinnamon. And it's a 4-note. Let me get my hand over here. It's a 4-note call. The first one is like a scream and then a yak, yak, yak. Okay? And that's the way you call teal. Now, blue wings also and green wings peep, beep, beep, beep. And we use dog whistles and pintail whistles to do that. But the teal call, and that's all it is. And that's what you do. And it will call.
It'll bring them in.
I'll tell everybody because teal fly fast and they're gone. You'll let them light. They ain't hard to hit when they quit swimming. I've told you. Okay? It messes your decoys up, but who cares?
Well, it's coming in, and I'm gonna tell you, David. Also, that teal season, early teal season, is like that early dove season out in that river. Especially if you got a dog, you better look out for alligators and water moccasins. I'll tell you that.
Don't carry your dog.
The only thing I want to comment about the teal is that is one of the finest eating ducks there is on the water. And any young hunters that's going around here teal hunting and don't know what to do with the teal when they get through, come to Dunn's Sports. I'll show them what to do with them.
You'll take them, won't you?
Yeah.
It's kind of like me and them crappies.
Yeah.
Crappie. I carry gallon Ziploc bags around in a cooler in my truck at all times. Everybody looks and says, "Oh, Gaston, you drinking beer?" I said, "No, that's in case I run into somebody that's got a cooler full of crappie they want to get rid of."
All right, David, you told me you saw some little baby turkeys, hearing about some little baby turkeys. Talk about that a minute.
Big Daddy. They were just cruising around. Now, they just passed through. They came through the yard. Did I send you a picture of them?
No, I ain't seen it.
Okay, well, it's two hens. One of them's got 7. The other one's got 5. Little poults. They're about big as a chicken. Let me find the screen. They're about big as a chicken. But anyhow, they're out there. And of course, I started nurturing them a little bit. You know, they love wheat and chocolate. and I don't care anything about, shooting one. I've killed enough, I don't know if I'm going to get through the pearly gates for what I've done. And that goes for me and Cooter Hall both. But yeah, they've come back through the yard, and I'm hearing other folks say that they're seeing some baby turkeys. So it's good. And of course, I see what the Grantkin Hills does. So, but they living in a protected environment.
I don't know about that. They living in good habitat. Ain't no doubt about that.
No question.
All right, deer season's right around the corner. October the 14th, the bow season comes in. You cannot shoot a doe for the first 10 days or antler deer only. It's time now, Joe Allen, to spray, bush hog, deer. It ain't disking time yet, but it's spray and bush hog and burn, get your fields ready, right?
Oh, yeah. I got to go down there and start cleaning down my shooting houses, and I got some steps I got to build. I got some wash spray I got to spray wasp with, all that kind of stuff. But that's a big thing every year. You got to start early. I even go in and clean them out around them and take my weed eater like cutting grass where you can walk in there real quiet. You got to get all that stuff done. But it's a little bit too hot yet. I'm going to wait a few more weeks.
All right. Well, I got
another those wasps killing. Joe Allen, you can take a solo cup and put about a teaspoon or so of Dawn dishwashing detergent in there and throw it up on them.
Oh, yeah.
And it coats them and they'll fall in and they can't fly. And you just stop them and kick them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I need you to go with me. I want to watch you from a distance with my phone filming. You do that.
I've done it a many times. At these paper mills, a lot of these mills won't let you have insecticides in there. Okay. And that's the only way you can dispose of them.
Well, I have to shoot them about 40 feet away with one of them sprays that goes way out.
Joe Allen, I'm not so fat that I can't run. You are.
I am. That's why I have to do that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's all. Let's see. The Buckmaster Expo this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The old Buckmaster will be having 300 or 400 booths. They're going to be riding bulls. That's this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Joe Briscoe, text the number 2 to move your finger, Dave. 832-262-0271 for your Teal call, and I'll put that up on my Facebook page. David, text me all that information. I'll post it on my Facebook page. Joe Allen, I was in your store yesterday, and I was in your store today. I got my old dove gun out the other day, and I had abused it a little bit, wouldn't you say?
I would say so very much. Because that thing wouldn't even pump. And Cameron had to break it down and clean everything to where it would pump.
What kind of gun was it?
A Stoga pump, 12 gauge.
Yeah.
But I got it ready
Well,
now. I got me a box of shells and a skeet thrower, and I'm finna get some practice, and I'm gonna shoot me some birds this year. But now, Joe Allen, you have got a pile of stuff in that store. You got shells stacked up everywhere. You got guns. You got all the dove stuff. Talk about that a minute.
well, we got a full inventory. We getting ready for the early season stuff. Like I said, we got dove shells, we got steel shot, we got dove guns, we got camo clothes, short sleeves, shorts. Even got snake boots for the ones out in the woods, getting ready for doing the deer plot stuff too. So we locked and loaded like we have been for the last 30 years. So we know what the people need, and we proved that today with you. We hunted everything down that you needed. We was short though with the choke tubes, but thank goodness you found them under your bed in there and pulled them all out. And we figured out what tube you needed to put in your gun. But
Big Daddy, did they tell you to lube those choke tubes, the inside threads and the choke tube? You got to keep them lubed up. He's up in there.
And he was that close to seasoning his gun.
Well, what happened? I didn't use it at all last year. But let me tell you, I bought that gun from Joe Allen in 2008, and he said, "Where's your box? It's got tubes in it. It's got all." I said, "Man, that's been what 15 years ago. I don't know where that box is." And I thought about it on the way home, and I went home and I got my old walking stick and I stuck it up under your bed, Shane. And I just, raked it up. That box popped out, and I opened it up. There's all the choke tubes and everything.
Good. That's good. Yeah, I try to keep them in the case for sure. I have to track all my stuff down. I'm ready to kill some.
Yeah. But anyhow, Don Sports is locked and loaded, as Joe Allen said, for the season. Shane tomorrow night, Thursday night, crappie cast on Shane Jones Fishing, Shane Jones YouTube. You and John and Jessica, I want you to grill him about that tournament this weekend. He can tell us all about it.
He can tell all about it.
I think y'all need to get Dippy on that weed tomorrow night.
Yeah, like I said, we'll probably have to get him on there for sure. I want to remind everybody about these things, Big Daddy. Yeah. I keep forgetting about these third-hand products. Big Daddy's got them on his boat. These go on your live scope where your knob goes in your screen. You can lay your rod against them, hang your net on them. They've been selling them they've made 100 of them the other day. They've been selling us on mypowerbreaks.com. I'll post something on my page about them, but I keep forgetting to bring them up, and they're sitting on my desk here.
Yeah, those things, if you'll ever watch one of those videos that I do, and you can see when I catch a fish, I usually just drop mine on it.
I do the same thing too. And I finally, when me and Jimmy was fishing this weekend, I was showing him how to get a loop off his rod, and I laid his against there, and I was like, that's what them things are for. I'm getting used to them being on my boat finally, but I'll post them on my page, guys, Shane Jones Fishing, and y'all can order you some. They're aluminum, a machine, powder coated, got a rubber coating on the inside for those expensive rods. So they come in handy for all kinds of stuff.
David, hold that sign up again. Joe Briscoe is on here with us.
I need some of those, Shane, because Aaron, we done the same thing, dropped the rod down and went under a cleat on the boat, and Aaron went to pick up the rod and cracked.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what happened.
That's what they're for.
David, hold that Joe Briscoe sign up again. He is on here with us. That is the guy that makes the Teal call.
Teal call.
Teal call.
That's good.
And I'll put all that information on my Facebook page. Thanks, everybody. Anything else you guys got? Because we got to go.
Yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow night live, 7 o'clock.
Enjoy it, Big Daddy.
David, thank you.
I may not.
Oh, it's recorded. That's what's the good thing about it. It's recorded, David. So you can watch it from now on. It's infinite in history on Facebook. So.
Yeah, exactly. But I have to go to work every morning like a lot of folks.
Yes, sir.
And
Do what?
shut up, Joanna. And it's just not much time.
I understand.
All right,
Yeah.
guys, it was a great show. Thanks to all of you, David. I guess Kevin will be back next week, but thank you for sitting in for him. You brought a lot of information to all the listeners. And David Gaston's Custom Call, I'll put that in the details of this podcast. And I thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week, same time, same station. Y'all enjoy the Buckmasters Expo this weekend in Montgomery, Alabama. See y'all.
Pap taught me every
Thank you
trigger's
for the
track,
check.
how to set a hair trigger on a trap. He taught me to shoot, scale, and skin, and make a snare with a leather strap. He taught me to be a part of the woods and all his woodsy tricks. Said you gotta walk soft on 2 light feet and try not to break no stick. I thank Daddy for my savvy, how to hunt and how to carry anything that I might need to get a piece of skillet meat. How to walk and how to hide, how to crawl and how to slide, how to sneak, stalk and climb and do it all on 2 light feet.